I want you, grab my hand. Grab my hand and get up. You got it. You hear me? You got a chance. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what you're going through right now. I don't care about none of that. You got a chance. You hear me? You got the same 24 hours as everybody on this planet. You got a chance. You hear me? I'm supposed to be dead. You hear me? I was the first to make it out outside of my teenage years.
Yeah. It's your boy Young Mon. Y'all now rocking with PUSHBOY Podcast. We got an exciting show. I want to introduce
everybody. Sydney Francis.
Sydney Francis, the All-Star.
Original gentleman.
The Hall of Fame.
Original _ gentleman 82. I had to change all that.
Why you change it?
Because your mom told me to.
And today we got an exciting show.
We starting that? Okay.
We got an exciting show today. I brought up this brother, man. I knew him for a long time. Straight out of Camden, New Jersey. Knew him for years, man. Sports, very into sports. Played football. Had the opportunity to go to Fordham College in New York. And he was a brother that, you know, tried to make it into the league and really strive for it and took his abilities. And he has a deep story to tell. So, no further ado, I want to introduce to the world Free Will. We brought our own audience. Free Will from Camden. What's up, man? What's up, my brother?
Not much, same old, can't complain. How you been?
I'm great. And one of the reasons why we decided to bring you up, you just dropped a project called Soular Sound. And I want everybody to go get that. This is the book, Soular Sound. Look, I'm promoting this shit.
Get that.
Free Will.
Hold on. You gotta set it back up.
Oh yeah, he had it all nice set up.
Yeah, not the guess.
Oh, my bad. Soular Sound. And one of the reasons why we bring brothers like yourself up because we wanted to highlight, people that got projects coming out, especially coming from our city, because we feel like us as a show, as a podcast, we want to be able to bring individuals up to express what catapult you into making this project. This is dope too because you the first brother I know that dropped the CD and the book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
you definitely know
give us a little bit about your background. The book is deep too, and I know, but the world don't know. You know what I'm saying? Where you come from and why you chose the name Soular Sound, and just dive into it a little bit.
All right, well, like you said, I'm from Camden, New Jersey. Born and raised there. Just an athlete trying to use sports to get out of here and try to better my life. As far as music and writing books, I've always started off writing books. Before I even did music, I wrote short stories in my neighborhood. When I was about 8 to 10, I would pass them around in like little one-subject notebooks, and it was funny that everybody would read these things. And it would get around the neighborhood, they would pass them back to me. But a lot of people didn't like reading. So when I got a little bit older, let's say like around middle school, everybody was into rapping. So I turned my writing into music. And I fell off writing stories for a long time. So as I just progressed through the, my life and everything like that, I just been wanting to come back into writing stories and being an author because honestly, like to me, that's the perfect lifestyle for me. I could be somewhere, nobody has to know who I am. I could have a secret identity somewhere and just make my money and live a good life and be comfortable,
Cool.
Definitely.
When growing up, who inspired you musically? Like, who were some of the people that you like?
I got one favorite artist, and it's funny that nobody ever tells me I sound like this person or anything, and I think that's who I would more likely sound like. But Styles P of the Locks, that's my favorite artist. Growing up, and I don't know what made me take to him. I just think it was his authenticity. Like growing up, being one of the youngest son, my mom just having to navigate my way out here. I think Styles P music had a lot of those principles and discipline that I needed to not fall for none of the flaky stuff that you might get caught up in as a young kid by these older guys and things like that.
Okay. Well, I read some of your book in the beginning, and I want to know why you were out there in the streets. I know because you said you were, dealing drugs, and did you know that you were going to do something other than that while you were out there? Was there something always inside you that said, I'm going to do something, positive?
See, it's funny with me, and I'll be honest with y'all, I do not glorify street life or any of that stuff. Like, I look at it like we're all from a depressed environment. A lot of people use it as a means to an end. Like, being the person I was, even when you read it in the book, you'll realize that I started doing it after I kind of accomplished a few things. Right. And it was always a means for an end just to make sure I could eat, to make sure I had the things I needed to take care of myself. I did see or have a foreboding feeling about being out there, but you know, like I said, this environment, it gives you the type of heart where you feel as though you can handle that type of pressure.
Yeah.
But you know, thankfully I was able to, you know, do what I do and get out of that into a better situation where I didn't have to rely on that type of lifestyle. Because if you read the book, you can see things went a little left, and like I got
like the story
into my little lane before everything went crazy.
Yeah, even doing the story where you said, you know, he kind of like stumbled into it. Like he said he was playing Madden, right? He was playing Madden, and
yes,
he had the opportunity to get some money.
Yes, I mean it really.
And then he
simple.
said, "Yo, I don't want to work back at this factory no more. It's hot." You know what I'm saying?
That's
it's
a true
torturous.
story. Everybody that work at aluminum shapes, you have my utmost respect. I can't do that
Oh, yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. Yo,
I
aluminum
swear to
shit.
God,
Yeah,
I swear to God, I quit.
too, yeah.
I quit the half day they gave me for orientation. I never went back. Like
I know somebody that almost lost their limb there.
yeah,
Almost
listen,
lost
it's
their toes and
real.
all that
Dangerous in there,
shit.
It's real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be totally transparent with you and honest. Like when I graduated school, like a lot of us, like you know, Mar, like when I graduated high school, it was like 10 of us, 12 of us that went off and got full scholarships for sports.
Right.
And we were trying to make it to the league. Like, so
Right.
all of us, we would come home, we would work out together. You know, even myself, I made all conference. I was in magazines. I was rated, you know, to be scouted as a possible prospect for the league. What ends up happening after you finish sports and everything, if you don't make it professionally, is you have to reinvent your whole self-identity.
Yes.
Like, you know, like, and nobody really wants to talk about that.
That's
so
a big
all the
part,
people
yeah.
from Camden that was, so listen, it's even so bad because I started at Centerville Simba. So I've been playing sports in Camden since I was a little guy, since I've always been good. But I could tell you this, for example, I played for Centerville Simbas. Nobody shows up to my games to support me. But as you keep getting older and you keep progressing, now you're in magazines and stuff. Now I got family traveling out of state in caravans with flags and stuff in the stands supporting me when they couldn't walk around the corner, you know, to come to one of my games. But we see a payoff coming at the end. You get what I'm saying? So everybody want to position themselves to, you know, be in your good graces and stuff like that. And when you come home and you don't make it, them same people who were there cheering you on are now feeling
Like,
let
yo,
down. Yeah,
like,
let
yo,
down.
what the fuck
Yeah,
you
let
doing back
down.
in
That's
the
the
day?
point I gave you. Now I'm the failure.
I had somebody, niggas look at it like, man, they be like, yo, he gonna make it to the league. This niggas in the hood be like, man, he gonna be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you know.
So it's that
Hate
Like the
man.
mentality, the psyche.
or hate.
You feel
Yeah,
me?
it's mentality.
So like my thing is like after I went through that whole thing, I didn't make it, feeling depressed about myself, thinking back that everybody was laughing. I mean, I had to think about, yo, I got a degree for free. You know, I traveled, I met people all over the world. Like, you know,
And you had the
it's like,
opportunity, too.
yeah,
You had
and
the
it's like, and I
opportunity,
did
too.
it. Like I actually was able to play college football, D1, you know, do things that I set out to do as a kid. So like I had to get over it. And once I got over that, you know, it was kind of smooth sailing again. But like all of us had a rough transition that didn't make it. And it was something that I realized nobody was there. They like the welcome was back home, like it's gonna be okay, get back and do this. So like, you know, we all had to find our way again. So like to me, feeling that ridicule of you didn't make it, not having money, feeling like I was going to be in the NFL, millions, and taking care of my family, man. I was just trying to get some money. I was just trying to make sure people stopped laughing at me, and I had to, you know, find my own pride to get, man. So,
I'm glad you brought that up because there's even, you know, for some Division I athletes who don't make it, they have like, you know, therapy sessions set up for them because that's something that's like life changing when you don't make it. As you didn't put 15, 20 years into something with your hard work, and you at the end like, I ain't got nothing, and like you really do have to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
And some people commit suicide. Like the suicide ratings, like for like the Division I athletes who don't make it is really, really high.
and that's
because
funny
of
that you
fact.
know that, like, because
Yeah.
like this is the stuff people don't talk about. This is the
Right.
stuff they didn't prepare you for, like, you know. And I remember at the end of my career in college, you know, like I had a falling out with my head coach. So when it came for all the combines and stuff like that, they were actively sabotaging me. When I was, like I said, I was rated as a prospect to get, you know, to get a look
Right,
or
'cause
even
you-
invited to a camp.
Right.
So I had a problem with the head coach at my school, and you know, he kind of sabotaged my whole
heard that
thing.
story- I heard that
And
story a lot,
it sent me into a spiral. Like
Right.
I didn't care about nothing. So like I remember my whole last semester in school, like I didn't even go to class, and it was bad because I was doing so well in class. Like the professors knew I knew the work, but I wouldn't show up, and they just all passed me. So like, you know, they could have failed me. I would have had to go back to summer school. But like, it was in that last semester in college when, you know, the football season ends, you're no longer that student athlete. The coach don't have to take care of you no more. The professors ain't giving you the grades. Listen, I was getting money from boosters and stuff like that just for cash to have in my pocket. They don't give you that no more. So like, your whole structure falls apart. And when you realize that you're not going to be that guy going to the NFL or nothing, nobody has you back. Like, nobody is coming to, it's going to be okay. So you just had to figure it out on your own.
It seems crazy, like y'all speaking about this athletic situation. You can go to college, get your degree, you know, almost go to the league, but you didn't make it, and you come home and you get nothing. Almost. But if you go to jail, come home, they throw you a fucking party. They're like, oh, my nigga,
coming from Camden, New Jersey, and what you explained in your book, you was one of the first people out of your family to make it to college, right? Mm-hmm. So explain that feeling, you know, just like going through that process. Like, how did you being as though you was the first one in your family to make it to college, and then in the book you expressed like your graduation day, like, you know, that moment.
Okay.
How was you feeling during those times?
I mean, making it to college, like, it's funny to me because I've always had a business like approach to life since I was a kid. Like, you know, like I've always known I was good in sports. School was always easy. I never really fit in with my peers. I was always like an elder to my peers. Right. So me going to school, playing sports, like, you know, we did track. Like, I was always into something trying to make sure my future was planned out because I look left, I look right. None of my family members got nothing going on, you feel me? And I was smart enough to realize I didn't want to live this type of lifestyle. And the people I seen living a real lifestyle, I understood that, you know, it was only temporary. They were really selling drugs, things like that. They either getting killed or going to jail and things like that. And I had a lot of family members doing that. Actually, I had a few family members that was getting real money. But I was able to watch them and see, hey, it's not even worth it. You know, they're going to jail. They're calling, you know, they had all this money. Now they're calling people to get bail money, you know, put in for this and that. And I just knew at a young age that that's not what I wanted to do. So like, going to college to me was always, I had to pay for it on my own. So that's why I played sports so hard. Like, my mom was a single mom, you know, we didn't have the most type of stuff. So I didn't even want to burden her with that. So like, if I wasn't going to get a scholarship, I wasn't going to go to college. That was just going to be it. So I was working so hard with sports just to make sure I could pay for it when the time came.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now with the book and the album, right? Mm-hmm. What was the idea behind putting it together? Like, what was that?
Okay.
Yeah, what you mean by Soular sound, man? What's your
all right.
On the concept of your
I'm gonna start
project.
with his question first.
All right, my bad.
Okay, so with the whole book and the album, it came about like I was telling them a little earlier. This book started off. It's a huge novel, like. But the audience I want to reach for real is people like myself that grew up in the inner cities like Camden, like me, black guys who more than likely don't read a lot or not interested. So I sent the novel out, the manuscript out. I got a couple bite backs for some publishers who was interested in publishing it, but they didn't want to give me the type of money that I wanted for it. So I decided to publish it on my own and break it down into a series. Therefore, like, I could get it to the guys who don't normally read. You know, you see a thin book, maybe they'll try it based on me. Maybe if I put a CD with it, some music. Yeah, maybe if I put a CD.
You did too. He said, "Oh, it's only 100 pages."
Yeah.
When I first gave him the book, he was like, "Oh, it's an easy read. It's only 100 pages."
Right. How was even spaced? The spacing, like of the sentences and all that stuff is.
Yeah.
That was his first thing.
I
you
did
said
that intentionally, you know, because like even. The novel is crazy. It goes in a lot of stuff, but like I said, I'm an English major. I study English at Fordham University. You know, I could write with the best of them. I know published authors and things like that. And like I said, I've been wanting to write a long time, but I couldn't write any other story until I started getting this story out because it's so important to me. Yeah. Like, you know, and really when it comes down to how I get the CD out of the book is because when I was writing the novel, I didn't understand how I was going to break it down and structure what I really wanted to say. And the only way I was able to do it was by music. So like I would make a title to a song and I'd be like, you know what? This is what this chapter needs to be about. This is what this needs to focus on. So me actually structuring the CD helped me outline my book. And that's the way it both came along. And like I say, the CD, like a lot of people saw the CD with the book and thought it was like an audio CD. But like I said, I didn't do it like that. Like the CD is really just like it's a mixtape off the character from Free Will to bring you into the time period, what he is, like the lifestyle that he's living. So like the other people like him can relate. Because you're getting a narrative voice from him which really is like higher knowledge. He's not in the moment. He's explaining the moment. But like for people that's like him, going through this stuff, like when you hear the music, you can get into the vibe, the atmosphere. You start realizing that, you know what, he's just like me. He is seeing some things that maybe I miss seeing, because to me, I think this happening to all of us. It's the same story. And if you could see my flaws or you could see the pitfalls for me, you can avoid them yourself.
Sure. I took it like the soundtrack. To a movie, right?
It's just deep, and I even like to the fact that you like if you look at the CD, there's no titling listed, but you have to read the book in order to get the concept of the title. So it's almost like you just said, like narrating.
You gotta read the book, Deron.
Exactly. You gotta read, man.
So,
the other question you asked.
Solar Sound. You know.
Oh, Solar Sound. Okay.
What brought the idea of Solar Sound? And
what is Solar Sound?
What is Solar Sound to the public? We know, but you know.
Okay, now Solar Sound to me, that was like my own made up, smashed together word. I even spelt it a little different. Like I tried to mix solar, like the heavens, and the spirit, like the soul and your spirit together. Because, you know, just like when they tell you in religion, you know, the children of Yahweh, you know, we're special people. You know, we're attuned to a certain thing that everybody's not attuned to. And when the trumpets start blowing, like they say in Christianity, religion and everything, when the end times come, the chosen ones will know. The mark of the beast will show. And free will is basically talking about the spiritual side of life. Like, you know, he's the one that's understanding what's going on spiritually on a spiritual plane. So like when you look at this book, in this book, it starts off like I'm not even really dealing with the spiritual side of stuff. I haven't come into knowledge of self like that. But the spiritual side is very aware of me. You get what I'm saying? So like, as I'm going on about my life and just making the decisions and the things that I'm doing, I'm becoming more aware of how much exactly the spiritual world plays into the physical reality. And by really changing my direction spiritually, is how I'm going to really affect physically what I want to manifest in life. Like, you know, so until I really come to the full conclusion of that and accepting it, in this book, you see I'm having these struggles with being like, you know, a regular guy trying to survive in this backwards kingdom, or being my true self and listening to my spirit and becoming what I totally can be. So like that's the rub that I'm trying to get out in the book, but you know, that's how all of that came about.
Very thought out. Very thought out.
I definitely see, like when I listened to the album first, and I read a little bit of the book. When I listen to the album, when you look at the cover of it, I'm thinking like, okay, and I look at the cover of the book, I'm thinking it's about to be some spiritual, religious situation. But when I start listening, it almost sounds like that good and evil battle in life and with the trials and tribulations that a black man goes through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when that Malcolm and Martin joke, I was sitting there like, okay, I know this beat sound familiar. Then that joke started coming in like, oh damn, all right. And you start, I'm like, okay, the message in it was real like, damn. We let them, you putting it out there like we let them down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't taking care of our kids, we ain't doing this, we ain't doing that. And I'm sitting in the car like, fuck that.
My kids in the back seat,
man.
That leads into my next one, like, you know, when you started becoming more conscious about, because you're a very conscious brother, you know what I'm saying, to be honest.
Right.
When did you start awakening to certain things where you start looking at things different? Because you very deep.
Yeah, when did that start? That's a funny question because like this has started years ago. Like I've been searching for knowledge for like I want to say since I've been 8, because I was a little terror running around downtown, and my mom and they wanted me to be nice, so they sent me to church. In Willenboro with my aunt that was all every day 24 hours she do church. So my little bad smart ass, I gotta sit in church, I'm gonna read the damn Bible. You get what I'm saying? Like, and this is what happened to me, and I'm gonna be totally honest. I read the whole Bible about the time I was 12. And I used to read it because the stories, like I didn't have books, I didn't have toys and lots. So, you know, like the Bible got stories in it. Like, you know, and I told y'all I like writing. But when you read the Bible, when you're not in church and some preacher's not telling you what to think, you start realizing that the stories in the Bible are crazy as hell. These were some sick people. Like these stories is fucking entertaining as hell. But like when you really look at it, the preachers aren't really telling you all of this stuff. You know, they're picking and cherry picking and this and that, you know, and like I had a question between an Old Testament versus New Testament when I was younger. And thank God my mom sent me to my preacher aunt or whatever, because she couldn't answer me the question. And then she sent me to her pastor, and the pastor couldn't answer the question. So then I had to, then I had to look at him like, well, what the hell am I doing here? Yep. You know, because once you hit me with the, I know it don't make sense, but just take it as faith. Yeah. I can't rock with you too much. Like, you know, and they started saying stuff to me like, I'm from Camden, you know, you can't hang with these type of people if there it is. I'd be like, but hey, this is my boy. If 5 dudes over here trying to jump me, my boy is helping me. You can't tell me he's not a good guy. Right. Yeah. You can't listen to rap. That's the devil's music. But hold up, they talking about this is Public Enemy and you know, this is uplifting stuff. So when I'm looking at all that and I say, well, who the fuck told you to be this pastor and you can't look, I can't look at my brother that's really showing me he got my back. And I look, well, who taught you about religion? Who taught you about Christianity? What are all the practices that you're doing? And once I started really looking at it, like, hold up, this is a form of control. Like, I can't rock with this. Like, you know, I can't do it.
To a lot of people.
Yeah. You start questioning why everything around you, and then you start like, yo, what's the Yeah. And when you start putting 2 and 2 together, and you start seeing some fabrication, some lies, or some deceit, your mind start to alter, and the way how you became conscious is the same thing how it happened to me. You know,
because the wild shit is in the Bible, if you really pay attention, God is the one that's doing all the killing.
It's 2 different guys. Listen.
Listen, not real shit. If you pay attention, the devil and God in the story in the Bible, count how many lives the devil took, count how many lives God took. And you'll see the numbers like it's ridiculous.
I guess he felt like I created him.
You want me to tell you the question that really stumped my, and it really can't be answered. And honestly, I've had it answered before, but I won't even go into it because it's so like,
especially
what I'm saying,
when you're talking about religion.
Yeah, because I don't want y'all to lose fans or whatever. But I said,
because you said it in your music. I got the
I'm letting a lot of stuff slip in my music, but like I personally take credit for that. Like, so if anybody want to hate me for that, they'll hate me. Like, I don't want to put that energy on nobody else who ain't willing to step into that line of fire, because it's a line of fire when you say it, when you do it, when you feel this way. But like, yo, the question I asked them was like, yo, there's 2 distinctly different gods in the Bible. Like, you know, like I said, I read the Bible on my own as a child. So when you're reading the Old Testament versus the New Testament, there's are fundamentally different changes. And when you really understand what the Bible was telling you, you start realizing what this New Testament dude is and what he did. And like in the beginning of the Old Testament, God held you accountable. Like, you know, like you did something, like you said, that Old Testament guy, he killed a lot of people, he killed your ass. There's no adultery, no idolization, no this. When the New Testament comes around, you get what I'm saying? Now we got all these, I can backpedal, I can ask for, I can do all this, and I can repent, and I can do this. Like this is what caused society, in my eyes, and not just my opinion, you know what I'm saying, because I spoke and I studied and I talked with a lot of people, but this is what has caused society to go down. Like, you know, just the morality of everything that everybody doing, because you know what, I'll fix it tomorrow, when the only time is right now. Like, you know, so like now we got all these passes to do what we're doing, and the society just decayed. Like even us, like, you know, I'm 37. I can remember a time in my life when I turned on the TV, they didn't have curse words. When you turned on the radio, they would bleep out everything. Now you look at it, they're flooding the airways with all this negativity and stuff. Like it's a reason they're doing it. But like I say, like it's too deep to just look at a symptom of it. I think a lot of people, instead of looking at the disease, they'll see a symptom here and there and be like, let's fix this, cure this symptom. You know, black people are killing each other. Let's kill the symptom. Black people are selling drugs. Let's kill. Black people are poor. But listen, until you understand the real problem, why you're in this position, why they want to do this to you, why this self-hate is there, like it's all comes from knowledge itself. And like nobody wants to be honest, because like they're gonna have to say a very, 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 very unpopular thing to themselves.
This is America.
And you know, but like, you know, like really it boils down to what I think is gonna stop black people from really opening up, unless, you know, they start critically thinking, is the whole religion thing. And your faith in what you believe in. Because we believe in something outside ourselves.
You can't touch that. That's
so I want to get into
people don't really want to hear that. They don't really want to hear that, dog.
I think that's where you get lost. When you start following a religion and not having faith. Like, you don't need the religion to have faith. For me, I left the religion alone. You know what I'm saying? Just started having my own situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get in that religion, like what he said, to me, I started to lose myself. I started to believe certain things that why am I believing this? You start to ask yourself, and you start, why am I doing these rituals? You know what I'm saying? And when you start practicing rituals, then they telling you that these rituals are saying any ritual is a sin or satanic. Then I'm doing rituals in church every day.
Yeah, but it gives you, but that's what the church does. It gives you a scapegoat. It gives you somebody to say, all right, yo, you know what? I can't do it. Give it to God. You know what I mean?
On track 2.
I got
on this subject.
one question.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I told you I went to Fordham University, right? Do y'all know that's a Jesuit institution, right? Basically, the popes, all that stuff come through there, like this type of stuff, right? I almost got kicked out of Fordham University my freshman year for certain talks I was having. And it was making Catholics start saying, hey, I'm not being a Catholic no more. This is bullshit. Like, nobody told me this. And I was laughing at these motherfuckers because I'm like, yo, how did I get all the way to college? We sitting in the dorm room. I'm going to tell you some regular shit that you should have known if you would have just looked. But you didn't. You just listened to your priest, your mom, your dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? You went on with tradition. Now somebody exposed you with facts and y'all breaking down, crying. Like, I had my head football coach tell me, literally, stop having these conversations in your dorm or we're going to take your scholarship. Straight up. And like, the only thing I was really telling these people is, God said, put no idols in front of me. The Catholicism, you are worshiping idols. That's basically the setup of the Antichrist. If you don't understand that, you don't understand religion.
I'm in the car. I used to go visit my dog, now we don't speak at all. I need that Billy and Czar, I don't know what y'all on. I got the mind of a hustler, I tell Camden I'm gone. I give you game loan, homie, if your loyalty strong. I'm talking for the people, black people, we on. If you ain't trying on your own, then I don't know what y'all on. Mission I'm on to put my family on. I know the feeling of being broken outside being home. Word.
The hardship you've been through, I don't care what nobody else gonna say. I'm proud of you. Oh, Wallow, you don't know me. I don't care if I don't know you. I know somebody to know you. That's why you getting this message. Because I'm proud of you. You hear me? You doing your thing. You done went through all you know, I wanted that promotion. You went and got that. I got this idea. You gonna get business in life. Oh, I'm gonna be a better person. I'm gonna get back with my friend. You done that. I'm gonna get back. Oh, I'm gonna put my ego to the side. I know I did wrong. Let me get back with my girl. You done that. I'm proud of you for manning up. I'm proud of you for going after your dreams. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.